if you look at around the world, OECD countries, most of them, or half the OECD countries, have either got negative prices, CPI inflation, or under 1%. So it's clearly going on. China's inflation is, I think, 1.6%. Producer price inflation there has been negative for nearly 2 years. So it's happening for sure. But the trouble is, it's difficult to work out whether it's good or bad. I mean, we like prices coming down. Okay, so it's great. Except everyone keeps writing this stuff saying, we've got a crisis. It's terrible. Whoa! We'll have inflation. That'll be really bad. And central banks are, desperately trying to prevent deflation and talking about how they're trying to prevent it. And so, I think it's confusing for people, for everybody, really. Is it? Are we worried about deflation? Sounds bad. Deflation sounds terrible. Or is it okay? Because it is okay that oil prices are coming down. And moreover, it is okay that innovation is causing productivity gains. That's good. Sure, it means that in many cases people get laid off, because there are fewer people needed to do things. But on the whole, innovation's great. Everyone kind of talks about how it's wonderful. We need to have more innovation. We do. But that's is a part of the cause of deflation. So I think, it's quite confusing.
Now, there has been a lot of angst, as you suggested, to try and tackle this deflation problem. Do you think that's indicative of certain interests being taken care of, or is this just a traditional approach that they're sticking to? That's just been the paradigm we've had for the 20th century. Why do you think people are so upset about it?
I think it's mainly because of debt. Deflation makes the value of debt rise. Inflation makes the value of debt go down. So, the traditional kind of means of dealing with debt is to inflate it away. That's what countries have done from time immemorial. When they get over indebted, inflation comes along and hey presto, no debt, or at least it goes down in value because the value of money rises and the debt stays the same. CPI inflation, yes, causes the value of money to go up, therefore the value of debt also rises. But, I don't think that's that big a deal. And I think that everyone's panicking. So that's the question I'm raising is it really a problem? That's what I'm questioning.
The disruption and innovation side of it is really interesting, though, because you look at whether it's BHP and their trucks and trains that have allowed them to become more efficient, that are automated, or you look at any of the number of startups in America that have been disruptive and have created magnificent growth but haven't created much jobs growth. Isn't this a real problem that they're going to have to start considering whether this innovation is actually good for, say, the middle class, or if it's just actually siphoning off wealth away from the middle class?
Well, it is. Yes, robotics is now moving from simple repetitive tasks to smart ones, that, like, for example, driving trains, driving buses, driving cars in future. Driving is a human job. I think most people have thought that will be a human being's job forever because, only human beings can drive cars and drive trains. Well, that's not true. So those jobs are going to go. Even surgery, who would have thought that surgeons would lose their job to robots? Well, in fact, it looks like that will happen. Maybe not tomorrow, but it'll happen. So, yes, there are challenges to do with that, but it's no good. No one's going to pass a law saying we're not going to have it. We're going to ban that happening. It's going to happen. We'll have to deal with it. We will deal with it. Life will go on.
So you have previously expressed concerns over the way that the middle class is getting squeezed, and if this is another example of that, when you say maybe we shouldn't fight it, it's not about stopping it, it's about adapting to it and making sure it doesn't hurt us too much. Is that what you're suggesting?
Of course. Look, it is concerning. I'm not saying for a moment that it's not concerning. I think it is. I don't know really what we're all going to do, to be honest, when we're being driven around by driverless cars and robots are doing everything, and robots are cleaning our houses or whatever. Everything's being done by robots. Who knows what we're going to do? I don't know, but I think we're going to have to do something, and I think that is going to happen. We are going to have to adapt to it.
Right, it's a brave new world. Alan Kohler, thanks very much.
Thank you.